The world of technology can be intimidating in a multitude of different ways. There are people that are scared that technology will replace their job, which it has done for thousands of years, by the way. There are those that fear that technology will alter society in unknown ways, which it has done for thousands of years, by the way. Some people fear that technology will enable people's vices and bad habits or negative behaviors, which it has done for thousands of years, by the way. Some people are just frightened to learn something new, especially once we're set in our ways of what we think works, which has been true for thousands of years, by the way. I hope I'm conveying to you a trend. The trend has been a new technology pops up, people fear it, attempt to ban it. But when all the hysteria dies down, people forget what their fears were in the first place. In this video, we're going to explore the 7 scariest transportation tech trends of 2020. So stay tuned. What's up, you guys? This is Derek West from BTP Fusion. On BTP Fusion, we love to talk about the synergy between business, technology, and personal finance. If tech, personal finance, and business scratches your itch, I need you to dastardly destroy that like button and moidalize that subscribe button while tickling the notification bell so YouTube lets you know when we drop more great content. So technological change happens every time someone thinks of a better way to do something. Typically in the process of trying to be lazy or doing something you don't like doing quicker or more efficiently. That process typically creates a good or a service that is now much cheaper and more available to the common man. But it typically puts some folks out of work that were doing things the old way. It also makes people think that society will be irrevocably harmed in some negative way, not thinking of all the positives that this new technology brings. Or it just makes people feel outdated and irrelevant. In other words, it evokes the natural resistance to change that we all feel now and then. What I was doing was working. Why should I adopt this new thing that is so hard to learn? It's probably going to make society worse and put good people out of work. You can look throughout history for examples of this sort of attitude. For instance, the Luddite movement of the late 18th and early 19th century, during the harsh economic climate of the Napoleonic Wars. What were then referred to as Luddites referred to the rising popularity of automated textile equipment, which threatened the jobs and livelihoods of skilled workers, as this technology allowed for them to be replaced by cheaper and less skilled workers. Basically, they were scared of sewing machines. Hindsight is 20/20, no matter what century you're living in. Those people who opposed mechanized clothing manufacturing probably were scared that mechanized clothing manufacturing would eventually replace their jobs. Those mechanized machines would go on to replace a lot of their jobs, but they also made clothing in general much cheaper. So much so that it was no longer considered a luxury to have more than 2 pairs of trousers. Another example would be the people of ancient Egypt when the wheel was invented. All those people carrying around pharaohs on those walking chairs were put out of work. But now more and more people are able to get around easier and haul heavier burdens with little effort. So those are a couple of examples of history's scariest tech trends. What are today's 7 scariest transportation tech trends, especially going into 2020? By now you've probably heard of or used Uber, Lyft, or any number of other ride-sharing applications. They make our lives easier as they provide an easy way to get transportation from here to there. Just download an app on your phone, enter your credit card or debit card information, and voila! You too can have easy transportation to the destination of your choice. So you may ask yourself, what is so scary about ride sharing? Also, some people can act negatively towards strangers that take rides in their cars. Reports of sexual assaults and other violent reactions by drivers to their passengers are abound when you look at the negative stories on apps like Uber or Lyft. Both app companies and many others have reacted and are doing their best to screen drivers for criminal history and other negative signals, like bad driving records, things of that nature. But no amount of screening can predict whether or not someone is going to behave inappropriately, to put it artfully. And such antisocial behavior has always occurred in society, and likely will occur in the future, unfortunately. Ride-sharing companies will do their level best to screen for bad actors, but it possibly can't be helped. Scary? I know. Moving on to number 6, autonomous driving vehicles. Speaking of Uber and Lyft, and Ford, and Tesla, and Mercedes, and BMW. These are all companies that are racing to come up with cars that drive themselves, automating what was a manual task. They first started with tasks that befuddled some of the most experienced drivers, parallel parking. They then mastered technology to help you recognize when vehicles were too close to your front and sides, and having your vehicle respond in kind. Some can now assist you staying in your lane, vehicles that can 100% drive themselves, with other car companies scrambling to keep up. Well, who can possibly be scared of this sort of technology, you might ask? If people own vehicles that can pick them up whenever they want, and they are no longer required to pay a driver to do it for them every time. You might have a fear of losing your lucrative job or side hustle as well. Another group of folks who might fear for their jobs are truck drivers. Truck drivers are the backbone of the American economy. Long haul, short haul, medium haul. They get goods from the manufacturers or ports to shops and parlors and other places of economic activity, and ultimately directly to your door. And as they should, they make a lot of money to do this. That being the case, they have a lot to lose if automated driving trucks are able to overcome technical and regulatory hurdles. Scary stuff, I know. On to number 5, electric vehicles in general. Electric-powered vehicles basically take energy stored in batteries, typically extracted from fossil fuels, and use it to power motion, where energy is extracted directly from the fossil fuel, as is the case with gasoline and diesel-powered vehicles. Time will tell if battery technology will improve to the point where such vehicles will become cheaper and affordable than their fossil fuel equivalents. Tesla is proving that it can be done, but can they remain profitable? Other car companies such as Mercedes or Porsche or Volkswagen will soon come out with their own electric vehicles. Some fear that it can't be done. Others hope that it can't be done, like the heads of fossil fuel companies as an example. Will Tesla and other car companies be able to make cheap electric vehicles that will also be profitable? We shall see. On to number 4, electric scooters being everywhere. Planes are used for convenient long-haul travel, greater than 500 miles. Cars are great for medium-length journeys from 5 to 100 miles. What about the journey that is less than 5 miles? Well, in comes the electric scooter. I'm sure you've seen them littering your city's sidewalks, or seen a news item about some scooter rider colliding with an innocent bystander, or bus. The reaction to these scooters has been mixed by various groups of folks. Some folks absolutely hate them and think that they should be banned from all public streets. Other people think they are the next big thing in personal transportation and are looking to make large investments in them. Depending on where you live, the opinion of them might be mixed. One thing is for sure, they have the attention of local politicians in big and medium-sized cities the world over, and that can be quite scary. The attack of killer drones. If you watch YouTube videos at all, and I assume that you watch some because you're watching mine, you have probably seen footage of someone on a yacht, partying, and it's looking like they don't care, and being filmed by a drone. There's so much drone footage on YouTube that YouTube should probably be selling them as part of their Creator Academy series. You have probably seen them in your local electronics boutique, or advertised on Facebook, Instagram, or Snapchat. Drones are quite the novelty item, and are really useful at getting footage of YouTubers skiing or hiking from really cool angles that will help drive views. But soon drones can be allowed for more commercial purposes, such as delivering packages or people to and from various locations. There are a couple of regulatory hurdles and perhaps some technical hurdles that must be overcome, but it will probably be sometime soon. One of the negative things that could happen is, what if a drone is delivering a heavy package and it runs out of power mid-flight? Well, it will likely drop out of the sky, causing untold damage to whatever is beneath it at the time. And daggone it, that could be pretty scary. Number 2, high-speed rail in America. High-speed rail in the US has been a spooky topic of discussion for decades. It would seem that the country with the most need for high-speed rail is also the country that is most afraid of it. With several cities within the perfect distance to maximize utility for high-speed rail, the US should be a no-brainer for high-speed rail lines all over the place. But like Dracula and garlic, the two don't seem to mix. There is some political opposition to the creation of lines using taxpayer money, and there's plenty of discussion over whether or not it will be profitable for investors to put up the money to do it themselves. Not even counting regulatory or other political hurdles such as NIMBY. The fear of the known regulatory behemoth and the unknown are great with this particular travel technology. And number 1, the Hyperloop of doom. Speaking of high-speed rail, there is something that is even scarier. Imagine efficient high-speed rail that goes so fast it rivals airplane speeds, but instead travels in tunnels that are pressurized. That, sir or madam, is a Hyperloop, and to many folks it can be quite scary. Well, what could be scary about the Hyperloop, you ask? Well, the very nature of the technology, I would reply. Airplane travel has a level of fear to it, i.e. you're up in the air tens of thousands of feet, hurtling into 700 miles an hour, but at least you can see your surroundings. And if the worst should occur, you pretty much know what will occur and when, since you can see out the windows. Well, on a Hyperloop, there are no windows, so you can't see where you are. Because it must maintain pressure to be effective and approach the speeds it claims, windows are not technically feasible. To overcome this, monitors can be placed inside that allow you to view live camera angles as you zoom through the tube. Still though, kinda scary. Also, the technology hasn't quite been proven out. If you have seen the footage of the most advanced Hyperloop, that is, Virgin Hyperloop, have you ever noticed that it has never taken even the most gentlest of curves? That is going to be kind of critical if this thing is ever going to get off the ground. I mean, stay on the ground at a high rate of speed. In addition to that, they face all the regulatory hurdles of high-speed rail, plus the additional hurdles of being brand new technology, which means regulators don't know what to do with it. Meaning it'll take forever to become a reality. Truly scary. So what do you think of the 7 scariest transportation tech trends of 2020? That is a lot of T's in one sentence. Did we miss anything? What transportation tech trends are you seeing for 2020? Let us know in the comments down below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell for more great videos from BTB Fusion.